Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Bros Park. Today, it's everybody's favorite day of the week. We've got DanDaDan. And again, as always, I will be one of your hosts, Colin. And I'm always joined by...
Yours truly, Jeff. How's it been going? How's everybody going? Today's episode was... It was okay. It was
good.
okay. By
good.
DanDaDan standards. It didn't blow my mind like the other episodes did.
Yeah, I enjoyed the context and what we were seeing for the first, let's say, like 3/4 of it. But I didn't enjoy the color palette as much, I think, for me. I've just never been into the muted black and whites. And
Yeah.
I find, like, I can see why some people would say it would be good for it, but I actually don't think it suits the DanDaDan animation style as well as like those kind of nicer, bright, or actual like deep colors that they've used in the past, like the reds and stuff like that.
Yeah. I thought it was actually okay because, it's like old time music and all that jazz, classical. So it's going to be, back in the day. But, yeah, but let's just get into it. So we kind of just still continue off with the fact that, like, these old miniature bobblehead musicians are right about to attack Momo and
Not Momo.
Okarun and Ira.
Yeah, how could you mistake your best girl, dude? I don't like. What are you talking about?
My bad. I'm sad I did that too. My girl Ira.
Yeah, so they are going, and again, we're with Turbo Baba, and she's trying to train them. So basically,
train.
Yeah. These musicians are attacking them with, at this point, notes. They're playing like a symphony orchestra type vibe, and these notes are flying through the air at Okarun and Ira as more or less a bullet hell game. If anybody has played any of those, which I'm assuming most of you have. And every single one of the notes, we see that Okarun tries to block, and instantly it explodes in his face, literally.
Yeah, it's just a freaking bomb. And like Turbo Baba, like, for some reason tells him after the fact. It's like, hey, you couldn't have told him earlier.
Yeah, she's like, dodge it all, and especially the rests, because if you get hit by the rest, they don't blow up, they just make it so you can't move anymore. Which seems OP, but you know what? That's fine. I get it.
And the crazy thing is that we get transported to like a rice paddy field. I was like, whoa, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah, the first one was the rice paddy field. That's right. Yeah, I don't know why they picked that, but like,
I guess
it was
just harder. It's like harder to run in, so like harder to dodge the bullet hell.
Yeah.
And what we saw was like, it was fun. Like, they were dodging the bullets and running around, like dodging. Ira's doing her like, ballet looking acro silky stuff. And unfortunately, Okarun is just running in a straight line getting hit. But like, the scenes kind of got repeated a little bit too many times to me. I was like, usually DanDaDan is pretty dynamic and like, everything is always changing. This one, it was pretty like, we saw like the same scene like 3 times, 4 times maybe.
So I was gonna actually bring that up, and I was prepared to be roasted in the comments saying like, we're just dumb and didn't notice things, but like, I felt the same way. I was gonna bring it up specifically with Acro Silky, because with Okarun, it's harder to tell because he's just running like in a straight line, but with Acro Silky, I felt that a lot of her dodging, which is like you said, the ballet, like flips and cartwheels and backflips, and it all felt the same.
Yeah, it's because like, there might be some variations, but it was just, she's just running and dodging notes. That's it. Yeah. And then there was like, they would do an attack where it would like, notes would connect to each other. I'm like, yo, I saw this like 3 times already.
Yeah, I get that. I think even with like the acrobatics from Acro Silky, I would have to rewatch it like very explicitly, but watching, I think it was probably 3 scenes from the first one, I was like, okay, dodge towards camera, front flip, back flip, cartwheel to the left, back flip, step out. And I was like, wait, but that looks exactly the same as the first time, where it was front flip towards camera, back flip, cartwheel, backflip to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was almost the exact same dodging pattern. And I don't know, maybe it's to show that she's like skilled enough to be able to like see the exact movement she needs every single time. Maybe?
It's showcasing that she can do four movements in one beat, right? She's
Yeah.
able to do all that stuff while Okarun can't. And then she successfully takes out one of the musicians, right? Like just freaking kicks his head off. I was like, damn, shit.
Yeah, and that's the end of the rice patty situation, because I think at that point the musicians are like, oh shit, they can actually get to us, or at least Akko Silky can. So they then go into, I guess, like whatever you want to call it, their final form. Like they evolve up, and
yeah,
like this scenery I think suits it way more. I don't know how I feel about the giants and like the army, but like I don't know, I enjoyed the orchestra setting.
Yeah, they go into like an auditorium, like giant one, and like they summon the giant like singers, and then like out of the giant singers, like illusion zombies get like poured out of their mouths. I'm like, holy shit, this is pretty wacky. But then I do respect the animators because none of it was really CG.
No,
they had to draw that shit.
Yeah, it felt like, especially when they were being piled up and like running through them, like obviously speaking, there was like a little less detail on the zombies and stuff like that. But I think that's great, and I think that's perfectly fine because it wasn't CG, like you said. But yeah, with the giants and like the army and stuff like that, like I said at the beginning, I enjoyed all the visuals. Like I enjoyed what we were actually seeing. I think that it looked
like,
great.
Singing "Ode to Joy."
Yeah, exactly. Like it was fantastic, and you know what? It fit what we needed to do. So Okarun and Akko Silky are now trying to get through not just only the army, which is already overwhelming them, but also these 4 massive, like we're talking Statue of Liberty, giant-sized singers.
Yeah. And the way that they like basically circumvent that is Akko Silky just wraps her hair around their eyes and just like propels herself Spider-Man style.
Yeah, she pulls them fucking down straight from like the chains of her hair. Like it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Shadow of the Colossus style, and then like she gets them to beat each other up basically.
Yes, she is pulling the full fucking like I'm gonna bait their hits into each other, and yeah.
I was a little disappointed with how like her section was done, because she was like, "Yo, you handle the musicians, I'll handle the giants." She basically, all she did was just wrap her hair around their eyes, their faces, and just swing.
Yeah,
that was basically it, and dodge. I was surprised like she didn't like wrap her head like it's like Attack on Titan style, like she's going through the legs, like like Levi basically, she's wrapping around the arms, maybe tangling them up, or like going all crazy and stuff.
Yeah, or maybe even like
just,
throwing some of the army at them, like picking up.
But at the same
zombies.
time, it still looked really good.
Yeah,
it still looked really good.
Yeah, I agree. It looked fantastic. It was smooth. Obviously, DanDaDan is like one of the smoothest fucking anime out there for animation. So
I just felt like they could have done more. I'm basing this off like the DanDaDan standard, which is like fucking super high, and I felt like they were like over here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think that it was by any means at the top of a DanDaDan episode for me, but it was still just like, again, if you take it just by what it is, it was fucking great. But
yeah, her kick was clean though on the last giant. I was like, God damn, Ira.
Well, she got hit once or twice as well, and we saw like her mask kind of crumble, and then she like, I do like that they added a bit of the tidbits of her past and like seemingly coming to her true self a little bit, because she got hit and the mask crumbles, and to bring it back, she has flashbacks of moments she's had with Momo or with Okarun and stuff like that, and it's almost like a I need to protect these people situation, and she grows her mask back to like bring her powers back to full strength, which I thought was cool. I like that. It was a little touch that they didn't need to add, but it was nice to see. And while she's handling the giants, we got Okarun kind of struggling to get through the army a little bit, but makes his way over towards the musicians on the stage, and he still just like doesn't get this whole rhythm thing.
Yeah, because he hasn't listened to like any music before, and like even like Turbo was like, use your rhythm. He's like, I can't, I've never done this before. But thankfully he actually had like a live performance like done in his face like what the night before.
Yeah, the night before I think, or like 2 nights maybe, but like
Yeah.
it was fucking, man, like he said like, ah yeah, I remember that song, and I like fully got into it, and I love these like flashbacks that they have of them just like head banging to the fucking what is it,
Yeah,
Hayashi?
Hayashi. And so
Yeah.
we got like some like rock and classical music going on at the same time. I was like, this is pretty fucking good now.
I think musically, some of the best episodes from DanDaDan in the last couple episodes.
Definitely, for sure.
So I will give them that. That's phenomenal. And you know, again, I didn't listen to the English dub. You know, I watched it in the sub. I wonder if it was Dragon Force again. I never checked that on the first end, but it would be sick if it was. But you know what? He gets going. He figures it out, kind of, finally. And he kind of makes his way through the army and gets up to the musicians. And he's like, oh, fuck, there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
And I can only go full throttle twice.
Yeah, and then Turbo Bob was like, do 5 like beats in one move, basically.
Yeah, it's catching up to whatever Evil Eye's at 8 or something, right?
Yeah, he's like
4,
and then he can go up to 10 with Cursed House.
That's what it is. Yeah, 10 with Cursed House. And
then I felt like they could have done even more with this, because it just showed him like the final conflict is him like what, bowing 5 times, hitting them, like headbutting.
I assumed it was a headbutt, right? Like that's what it looks like, I guess.
Like it would have been cool if like every like it could have been like, you know, a still frame of him like, you know, kicking this guy in the head, punching this other guy, like low kicking the other guy. Like it would have been cool if they did that, right? You know, like Dragon Ball Z style.
Yeah, different
like,
movement for each.
Yeah, but it just showed him like bowing 5 times. I'm like, I guess.
I like the only thing I can think of is that they went with the music style where like that's the end of the performance, so they're trying to like bow
to like
but I don't know, that might be a stretch. It also might just because Okarun's known for his headbutting, right? I don't know.
So yeah, that basically sums up the fight, right? They get transported back to the music room, and like yeah, that's that. And like freaking I think they're saying like, oh, the training's done, and like Turbo Bubba was like, well, I'm thinking like they asked Turbo Bubba like, how did you know about these spirits and everything? She's like, well, I'm always thinking of ways to kill you guys. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, like, okay, that's what we kind of guessed, that she's still planning to kill them and shit like that, but like she used it as a training arc too, which was like cool of her. So
yeah,
and
so it was like a win-win for her.
Yeah, and she did say that like if you play the piano at 2 a.m. they'll show up again, because they're just like the negative feelings of the photos that are in the background.
Creepy ass pictures, yeah.
So she tries to step off the piano to like leave because the training's done, and then hits the piano, and then we just see obviously they fucking come back and they got to do it all again. Which, all right, great.
It's pretty funny.
I will say that during the fight, because we saw the car scene when they were on the way to the hospital earlier with Okarun and Momo, where they held hands like 3 episodes ago. And this was also the first time that we had kind of seen Okarun and Irie reach out and hold hands. Yes, it was in a fight to like kind of get Okarun out of there, but they kind of like also had the hands, and they had like a still frame zoom in moment on the hands touching, and I was like, all right, here we go. Like, is this what's going on here? Because we know Ira has feelings for him, but like we don't know what
when he thanked her and she's like, it had like that scene of like her like going like, oh, like, oh, you're so cute, Okarun, but then it was actually like just in her head, like she's like, I can't, like she's like, I need to express my normal self, right? Why can't it come out? I'm like, ooh, Ira character development.
Yeah, she's
I eat that shit up.
Again, I think she's getting to her true self, and then obviously she has to continuously call Turbo Baba a fucking turd and a useless piece of junk. Like,
and we basically cut back to the Seiko's house, where Manjiro is like giving them facts like, yo, dude, we gotta exercise this ain't working out well. I already called Hayashi, they're already coming, and like nobody's actually like speaking up really, except for Momo. But like, that's the truth of the matter right there.
Yeah, she talks about how Gigi's gotten stronger, but like you said, Manjiro is like, he's just
He's
spitting
being the
facts.
realist.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the realist here.
it's like, Gigi, do you want to kill Seiko and Momo? Do you want to never live with your parents again? Because that's what the trajectory we're on. And nobody says anything until we hear from the outside Okarun fucking shouting, basically calling Gigi by his actual name.
Yeah.
And calling him out.
Get your ass out here, bruh.
Yeah. And you know what? We get a nice little speech from Okarun showing a little bit of confidence. He's like, I've been fucking... Mo was like, what the fuck were you two doing out so late? And
a little sussy.
he just kind of ignores her. And it was like, don't worry about it. I was so pissed when Evil Eye fucking smacked you. I'm here to shit kick Evil Eye.
Like, damn.
Like, all right.
Declaration of war right there. And Manjiro's like, dude, no, don't do that, man. We're gonna exercise him tomorrow. And like freaking Seiko's like, hey yo, Manjiro, there's some fire in his words.
Yeah.
Let him do what he's doing.
Don't fucking embarrass him, dude.
I was like, damn.
So Ira gets over to him and basically says, hey, are you fucking ready? And Okarun's like, let's do it. And she splashes the cold water. Everybody steps back. And the moment we see the water kind of like take its fucking course, we see the clothing start shredding off of him. We see Okarun turn into his spirit form, and like, god damn, when you see like the square off toe-to-toe freeze frames of Okarun and Evil Eye, it just puts a smile on my face. Like,
it looks freaking fire, dude. Next episode, I expect really good things.
oh, it has to be. And Hayashi has to show up. Like, fucking, oh man, it's gonna be great, and I'm so amped for it. So
hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, or is that it for the episode for you?
That's it, man. It was a good episode. Wasn't the best. I'll just put that out there.
No, I think it was a good setup episode for what's to come, and hopefully it fulfills everything we want it to be. But you know what? Thank you for tuning in. Drop a comment what you thought of the episode below. Leave a like, all of that good stuff. And please check out all the other series that we are recapping almost every single day of the week and podcast on Tuesday. But until next time, thank you all for tuning in, and we will catch you later. Peace.
Peace, guys.